Hey guys, welcome back to Solo in Seattle. I'm your host, Amanda, and today I'm joined by a woman whose voice is as powerful as her business mind. You know her from soul laced lyrics, bold visuals, and her growing crew fan base. Please welcome Kellie Rose. Hey girl, hey. How are you today?
Good. I'm having a super creative day, so it's fun to be doing this. Thank you for having.
Yeah, creative is where it's at. I mean, this has given me the opportunity to tap into a creative space as well. Like, I've never thought about interviewing people in my life. I've never thought about randomly asking people I've only met one or two times.
Let's have a whole conversation.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about your life. I just am very appreciative of you taking the time and hang out with me today and letting people know about you. I love your music. You have
You.
such a beautiful voice. Your voice is so beautiful.
I love music so much. Every time I do anything other than music, I'm like, this is no. I think we, not to sound cheesy, I think we all have very divine gifts, like certain things that we're naturally talented and good at,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to build on that stuff. Like you're obviously very good with people, so you doing this and using that skill set to interact with people and grow yourself. It's like build off of what you're already good at. And
Yeah.
music has always been in my life from a really young age. Every time I've tried to do something different, it hasn't
Didn't
worked.
work out. I feel like I have traveled through a few different seasons myself. I mean, and this has allowed me to be super creative, kind of like free, if you will. Because I have a master's degree in counseling. We met a couple months ago, I think it was,
Girl meetup.
a girl meetup. Yeah, and I was teasing around the idea of doing this.
I remember telling you to your face, I want to be on that. I want to yap. I'm a yapper.
Yes. And we were just sitting at the table. And do you remember we almost had like a little round table experience? And it was just so good.
Thunder.
And I loved it. And I kind of led the session and everybody just came and they joined in. And that's when I realized I was like, I think I could do this. I think that people will engage with me and accept or feel safe at least, right?
Sure.
Because and what's crazy is I don't listen to podcasts.
You don't?
I don't.
I barely listen to music. I mostly listen to podcasts.
Yeah, that's so funny. I will listen to music from sun up to sundown and love it. Doesn't really matter what genre either, but I will not listen to a podcast. It's something about just the talking that I get irritated about. Yeah. Same thing with like big spaces and people. Like I hate it. I hate like going into huge
Like arenas
events.
or shows.
Yeah. Well, not arenas and shows, but like events, like community events where people are just gathering and just collecting. It just irks me for some reason. I
Not
can't
the
stand
vibe.
it. Yeah, not the vibe, but like small intimate spaces, like kind of the girl groups that we go to
Yeah.
and hang out with each other. I really like that. And I really like the women in those.
Yeah.
I haven't put myself out there to find women friends.
It's weird as an adult. It's super weird. And that's the whole reason I started going to that specific meetup.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I meet so many men, first of all, in
Yeah.
the music industry that I work in. And then just in business in general, I'm usually talking to a bunch of dudes. And I wanted to meet other women who are business owners.
Yeah.
Because like I don't do a 9 to 5, and it's hard to. I mean, and you also don't go to fucking rock star school and become a rock star.
Figuring out the business
You
side
know,
of it,
like
right?
figuring out how to be a successful business owner is it's trial and error.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, this is how you do it.
No,
So that's
seriously.
why I wanted to meet other women in a coffee shop owner or
Mm.
a digital marketing agency or whatever. It's different industries, but I
Yeah.
learned so much.
Yeah.
'Cause
No, seriously.
at the end of the day, I remember someone telling me like, no matter what business you're in, fill out the same tax form.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's what's like expanded my mind as an
Mhm.
artist. And like
Yeah.
what has helped me grow and be taken more seriously because I'm an artist and I treat this like a business. If anything, I need to relax on the fucking business side
No,
and like get
everything is
back into the
everything is
art.
no, girl, because if you loosen up those reins, it stops being transactional and you stop getting paid.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of it. Yes, I know you want to be like cool and creative and go with the flow with the artistry side of it, but girl, tighten up them contracts first and then we can play.
Yeah.
Like we can be as playful as you want after you sign this
Mhm.
contract, right? Because that's one thing about me too. So I have multiple businesses as well. Yeah, I have an estate selling company. I have a professional 9 to 5. I have this podcast. I have consulting businesses. But my energy is off of connecting and supporting.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
told you, you mother energy. You have
the mother hen,
cookies.
the mother hen of the group.
Yeah, right? Mother, cheers to mother.
Cheers. That's right. So when did you first know that you were an artist?
Oh man, I always knew I was weird. I've always been weird. I've always written songs. I've always pretended and written songs ever since I was like a little kid. I would watch Disney movies and I would reenact the things. I was just a little thespian. I was the little kid in the class wanting to do I mean, I was also dumb. I didn't know people could hear you hum
Yeah.
until I was like 6.
Oh,
Like,
you were in your own world.
I just
I wouldn't even say dumb. You were just in your own world.
and everything was fantastical and magical and like
Yeah.
that was just who I was, is like this little kid. And I loved making people laugh.
Yeah.
I wrote my first song when I was like 5.
Cute.
Like literally like it's just I would sit at the piano and write these songs. So I've always written songs. I can't even tell you how many.
Yeah. But I love that you had instruments,
My mom
right?
was a piano teacher and my dad kind of played the drums, so I grew up around it.
Yeah. So that was able to kind of
Oh yeah.
foster that a lot. I love that. So what was your first big break or heartbreak in music?
Ooh. My I would say my first like bigger career break wasn't necessarily in music, but I worked for Radio Disney in my younger teen years, which was cool because obviously it's a big company, getting into those connections. But what was really like kind of a flip was going from Radio Disney in Portland to being on a BBC teenage soap opera in London. Yeah. And, like, it was stupid, like, I got picked up at 5 a.m. and driven into London and taken to hair and makeup for 2 hours, which kind of messes with your head as a 17-year-old girl, and then I would film all bloody day and then go home at 7 or so at night, and all of this, like, while going to high school at the same time at this, like, prestigious boarding school outside of London, and it was weird, and it was, like, the coolest thing ever. It was I mean, getting that kind of attention, like, from your classmates is super weird, and, like, the show was, like, cool, but it wasn't, like, a number 1 hit, you know? So then there's also that, it's like, "Oh, you achieved this thing, but that thing isn't even that cool, dude." And then I'm, like, filming while the episodes are coming out, so I go to school and, like, there's, like, "I saw your episode." Like, it's just weird. It's a
Yeah.
weird
Is
thing
it
to do.
equivalent to you being an artist now and somebody coming up to you and maybe saying something they saw on social media or in your song lyric? Isn't it the
So weird because I'm still the weird little kid. I
okay?
was like an adult and business owner. Like I try to put on this like professional hat,
Yeah.
but it's phony. I'm a goofy kid.
Yeah.
And I'm smart. I am super smart and I'm proficient and I do a really good job and I really care, but I'm still like a goofy
Yeah.
artist.
Okay, so like for me, like we're friends on social.
Yeah.
I post whatever I want. I do whatever I want. I go wherever I want. It's unfiltered. It's who you
Love
see. But sometimes I do get weirded out when somebody is, oh my God, you're Amanda or Solo in Seattle or whatever. And they're like, I listened to your podcast about your breakup. And I'm like I'm so
It's
cringed
weird.
because yes, I put myself out there publicly, but I don't know.
Don't talk to me. No,
Yeah.
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I really censor what I put online. Like I have a partner who's my bro, like my bestie. I barely post about him because that relationship is really precious to me and I
Yeah.
don't need.
You have to preserve it.
Yeah. And
Have
like
to
he
preserve it.
has children. He has 2
Yeah.
daughters. I
Yeah.
never post about them or want them like
Good.
separated and you know what I mean? Say teenage
You
girls, are you insane?
you need to have something for yourself, period.
Yeah, my music is I mean, I've been the same we just talked about it. I've been the
Yeah.
same goofy kid writing songs that help people and make people cry and laugh and dance and what I've done that my whole life. So that's my thing
Yeah.
and I want it to stay about music. I've just had this realization in my online content that I am very authentic,
Mhm.
but I'm kind of doing too much in my own personal brand.
Yeah.
And it gets confusing, one for the audience, because
Mhm.
it's like, oh, what you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. But it's also confusing for the algorithm. So
Okay.
talking about the fact that, yeah, I am a business owner and part of being a business owner as an artist and a personal brand is expanding my reach in business online.
Yeah.
So it's important that yeah, I'm putting out real content that's genuine, but I'm also kind of playing the game.
Yeah.
Like,
For
do you want to pay bills?
Yeah. And that is one thing that is advantageous with the girls that we know mutually is they could put you on and they can show you exactly kind of how to make those type of moves to be able to get the reach
Mhm.
right? And I mean, it's just such an invaluable tool to have really good girlfriends who know what they're doing. And
Girls,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just love the girl.
Yeah. How did you shift from creative to entrepreneur? So kind of piggybacking off of what you're just saying,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I don't know if it was a shift as much as it was like a realization. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have been making money. I have been a gig worker since I was a little kid,
Yeah.
doing theater or doing a commercial or doing the TV show or
Hmm.
doing the singing gig or writing this song for this person. Or now, like, what I do is much bigger scale. Honestly, like, little me would be proud now that I'm like having this thing. Like, I release songs on major platforms that people really love. I
Hmm.
facilitate these interactive songwriting workshops that have nurtured literally from babies to like old white men coming up to me being like, "Oh my God, Kellie
Yeah.
Rose, I wrote a song." Like, I get to use my special thing to like,
Your power,
yeah.
your superpower.
And I just get
Yep.
to love and serve with it.
Yeah.
But the reason that I have been able to go from, doing odd end gigs to really having a business with it
Hmm.
is because I learned about business and
Yep.
like what is entrepreneurship and what is entrepreneurialism and how do you continue to get better and pivot and balance how you feel about your business with what just is black and white.
Yeah, for sure. So, what is the biggest lesson from monetizing your art?
Well, I would say anything that you're willing to do for free, you should do it for free one time for one person, get some feedback from them about that experience, and then use that to like rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So my experience with that is I begged the coffee shop to let me play a gig. Please, can I just play a gig? You don't have to pay me. I'll set up all my own stuff. Can I please do
Hmm.
it? They finally say yes. I go and play this gig. It's like 15 or 20 people showed up.
Hmm.
And then I did it again. And then a friend of mine reached out to me about covering for their gig. So I went from $0 to like a couple hundred to play
Nice.
music. And I'm like, wait a minute.
I could
You'll
get paid to
pay
do
me
this.
money
Yeah.
to sing songs? Like, what are you talking about? So I went from $0 for a gig to a couple hundred to then like getting into the thousands. Then now I've like reached beyond that.
The biggest lesson from monetizing.
The biggest lesson has been realizing that one, if you'll do it for free, you can do it for an infinite amount of money
That's right.
because that is your special thing.
Yeah.
That is like you said, like your superpower.
Yeah.
And singing songs for people, I've done it for $0. I've
Yeah.
done it for tens of thousands of dollars. And it's you decide what it is, but you have to first get the credibility and you have to build. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Even someone who posts and goes viral on TikTok today,
Mhm.
if they don't have a substantial foundation in business to build off of, like who's gonna run and save them?
Yeah.
People who want their money.
Exactly. And there's a lot of sharks in the water,
Yeah.
that are out
That's just
there.
business.
Exactly. Have you ever had to walk away from a deal that didn't value your worth?
I don't know if that's quite been my experience. I think we decide what we deserve,
Yeah.
and we do that by what we accept from people, what we accept from ourselves. So that me going into this with like rose-colored glasses, like, no, he doesn't want me.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, he does, babe.
Mhm.
Like everyone does.
Yeah.
You should just assume that, and you
It's
should
not safe here.
question intentions. You
Always.
just should,
Yeah.
because that's how it works. And I don't mean that in like a pejorative manner. I mean that in like a neutral, you should be like what
You
are
should just watch out for yourself.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also for like whatever is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Like what are your behaviors? What have you been showing yourself
Right.
you're worthy of?
Yeah, but we also need to be very mindful, right, that there are predators out there and we don't attract them, right? Like
That's true.
just because you love your body, you love yourself, and you post in whatever way makes you feel the most confident does not mean that opens a door for a predator.
It's crazy how I go from "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen" to "You're a bitch" in
Yeah.
like point 0.5 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen, right? I mean, it ebb and flows of life. And, it's just one of those things where you have to protect your peace. Definitely have to protect your peace. What does building wealth mean to you right now?
Oof, building wealth. I mean, I have recognized that I can pretty much create what I want and put a price tag on it and sell it,
Yes.
which is crazy. So I think building wealth is finding the balance between investing in my business and investing in myself.
That's right.
You know, like, yeah, watching my bank account grow, but then watching my self worth grow.
I love how you kind of section that because people can get really turned on by that fast moving cash
Mhm.
workflow and they're chasing that high, but they forget to chase themselves and catch up in the process.
Yeah. I mean, the reason my business has grown is because I have grown as a
That's right.
person, you know?
And probably what you allow and what you don't allow has grown. How do you manage irregular income as an artist?
I think one, it's just something that I've always been used to. Time, like making sure anytime you book those higher ticket events that you save. Like, you make sure you always have a cushion and you make sure to live within your freaking means too. It's great to grow and it's way cooler to flaunt shit that you really earned
Yeah.
versus like what you haven't.
Yeah. No, and I feel that 100,000% because I was sharing with somebody recently, there's always a rise and fall.
But I had a full thriving business up until COVID. I literally went from living in a two-story townhouse on the edge of Bellevue to my parents' RV on
Yeah.
their property in Centralia, Washington. No business, no income,
Yeah.
nothing. And like savings goes pretty fast
Yep.
when you go from making an income fully to having zero income.
Yeah. The reality of it. Same thing with my business, the rise and fall. At the height of my business, I probably reached, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen this number in my life. I don't come from generational wealth. I was like, you know what? I want to go on vacation. I want to buy a nice car. I want to do these things, right? These things that I held value
Mhm.
to my life that would represent me. And I started kind of peeling back layers and saying, I don't need things to show me what my identity is. I don't need to have any of this stuff because people like me for me. I show up as who I am every single time, you are with me. You're literally going to get the same authentic space, the same probably silly, sarcastic, no ma'am, whatever, right? I mean, you just know what you get. And it doesn't matter how much money you have because when you lose that humble heart, bets are off.
Yeah, no one's into that. When I first started seeing my current partner, I drove my 2015 Jetta that I had at the time to his incredibly bougie condo and was like, listen, like I thought that I would see him again after this conversation, mind you. This is the level 10 drama that I uh, just love to flourish in. I was like, listen, this isn't gonna work. Like, I haven't built up to your level. Like,
Yeah.
you have two supercars in the garage. You have a watch that's worth my parents' house. I can't, I'm not worthy. I'm
No.
like, I don't got it like that. Like, I haven't built that, is what I was saying. Like, you
Sure.
know what I mean? But what I was just like, hey, like, this is inequitable. You
Yeah.
know, if you want to go on a trip, I'm not going to be able to pay my half.
Yeah.
Like,
Girl, whose behalf?
I did it.
Girl, I'm hyper independent, but who ain't about to pay his
But
excuse me, sir.
he really, really got me because he was like, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I chase success and I like
Yeah.
I'm sitting here divorced. Like I chase success and I like working on my current relationships now.
Yeah.
I chase success and I was crying in my Lamborghini.
But you have to be careful with that, right? Because it is a casualty.
Mhm.
Success is a casualty.
Like someone like him, it's like if you're taught that, especially culturally, then like you don't know until all of a sudden you're crying in your Lamborghini.
It could be culturally, right? But I'm not of the same culture as him, and I felt that 100%.
Really?
I traded I love my business more than I love my boyfriend.
Mm.
I love my business more than I love my husband. I let both of them go. I don't regret it
Yeah.
because my business has taken care of me far better than either one of them. However, when you are at the height of success and you have put that sweat equity in and you start to see that return, you don't see anything else.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks when you lose it. So him sitting in the Lamborghini crying, I used to work at a storage unit. Same thing. I mean, I had so much success and so much money, but I didn't have love. But then I realized I didn't want it. I realized from a young point in my life that I'm not a relationship person. I'm just not.
You think so? Just
I do. I do,
mm,
absolutely. Because I've been married And I've been in 2 10-year relationships. And probably in year 1.5 of both of them, I knew I didn't want to be in them
Mm.
because it was just easy. It was easy. They didn't
For you, for
for both of us. Yeah, because it was just easy to go along with it. Everything was taken care of. I got to live my life as if I weren't in a relationship as far as like coming and going and doing whatever I wanted.
Did you get along?
Yeah, there was no issues in the relationships. It's just that I just was disinterested in being in it. And there was no real part of like me that would go home and be like, oh, I want to snuggle with my partner. I'd be like, what do you want? Yeah, dead
What would
ass.
they do?
They would be like, love me. That's what I want. I'd be like, I don't have that.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, it's never existed for you? Is there one that got away? I'm so
Mm-mm.
intrigued. I hear a song coming.
No. Yeah. I mean, just for me, like nobody has been able to keep and hold my attention. For me, it's just like you're fun. I'm having fun with you, but then I get bored. And I'm like, you're actually in my way. Yes, girl. But this is your interview.
Whoa. Yes. Does
So,
anyone ever come close?
no,
Zero.
there's no one that I could sit here and be like, damn, I wish I could spend time with them.
Really?
Mm-mm. No.
Do you feel that way about anyone in your life?
My friends. I love my friends.
Yeah.
My friends, I'm obsessed with them. I could see them 24/7. I could spend every day, every night with them. My friends have my eternal love. The opposite sex, like I'd rather not. Yeah, and there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be alone. And I find so much peace being alone. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Talking about friendships, your circle, your sanity. Have your friendships shifted as you've grown into your career?
Percent. Yeah, you are who you spend time with. So if you spend time with people who are partying a lot, you'll party a lot. If you spend time with people who are really working on their business and themselves, then that's what you will do too.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge partier. It's just too loud.
Yeah.
Um, but it's the relationship with myself that I've really worked on and cultivated. I am my bestie.
Good.
I'm super nice to me. I work on me. I be journaling all day, every day.
Good.
I know me. And so I would say the biggest transition in relationships has been just like the one with myself.
Good.
I go to therapy every Monday.
That's
I have
right.
a business coach I talk to every Tuesday. I have a coach that helps me at the gym.
Mhm.
My partner in life is also like a partner to me in business, not on paper. But I mean, I feel supported.
Yeah.
I hang out with so many people who believe in me and it makes me dare to be like delusional. Kelly Rose, like maybe Kelly Rose is the one who like really makes it. Like maybe
Mhm.
Kelly Rose,
She is.
like it's
Yeah.
like like the love
Mm.
around me,
That's
the
right.
fact that I've like raised the bar and require people around me to be loving
Yeah.
and kind.
That's the thing, right? That is the thing, Kelly Rose, is that, I met you a couple of months ago randomly, and you shared that were a musician. And then we became friends on socials. And then I saw that you were having a show, bought a ticket immediately, right? And then, like, I probably had like 15 people there with me because I was like, guys, come, come, come. I want you to, listen to this. I want you to join in, but that's the power, right? Of like friendships. That's the power of being able to build connection and community. Absolutely, and the thing is, you need to blow the fuck up.
Dude, I feel like it's not impossible.
I feel like it's coming.
I feel like I guess what's interesting to me is I've always been told if you don't make it by a certain age,
Oh
you
God.
won't make it. I've
Okay.
exceeded that age. I've had the most successful years I've ever had. And I truly feel like most of the trials that I've been through have been to build the person that I am so that I can love people better and
You have
help them
to.
love themselves.
So there is this misconception that if you're not successful by, we'll say, 30, that you have lost a whole chunk of your life. People don't realize that your 20s is for fucking up. Your 20s is literally like trial and error. Like for me in my 20s, I got pregnant and married, and I thought that's what my life was supposed to command.
The American dream.
And then I realized I was like, I don't even like being a wife or a mother. So I left my husband and became a mother only because as soon as I had my son, I only had eyes for my son.
Mhm.
And I am obsessed with my son to this day, but I realized that being a wife and a mother was not what I wanted. I didn't like that. But being a mother to my son is all I needed in life. And that also probably plays a big part in why I'm like, I don't want to have anyone else encroach on our space, our bubble, but 20s, 20s are out of there. I mean, and it takes a lot of different ups and downs, ins and outs, failures to realize that there's not a timeline. You weren't ready. You could not have handled it in those
Yeah,
years.
I truly believe that because I've been wanting the same thing ever since I was a little kid. I just believe, like, I watch what happens to these people that I grew up with. Justin Bieber and I are like the same age. Like, I watch these like superstars that have seen gone or go from like this young age to now where we're at today. And it's like, golly, that looks hard.
Yeah. I mean, the burnout is so real, right? The burnout is so real. So, what does support actually look like to you now?
I mean, there are infinite ways I feel supported. Listening to one of my songs, telling me what you thought about one of my songs, reposting my stuff, offering encouragement, telling me how one of my songs has helped you. I mean, it all feels super, super loving. I am at a point in my business where, like any startup, I have looked at opportunities to partner with people because part of playing the game is funneling the machine, and part
Yeah.
of funneling the machine is
Girl,
Zala's
it's
baby.
finesse.
I I've been told that as far as me and my music and my brand, like the whole like Kellie Rose and the crew, it's not so much a product problem as it is like a marketing advertising problem.
Yeah,
And marketing and advertising can be assisted with money.
that's right. And it
Yeah.
takes a lot to funnel like
Yeah,
marketing.
I
Yeah.
mean, Nicki Minaj releases a single, and her allotment for like the push is 2 mil, like
Yeah.
an easy 2 mil. So
Yeah.
I'm looking in the next year to really hone in my Seattle environment,
Yeah.
my hometown,
Hmm.
you know, digs, and cultivate that fan base and partner with people who can help me do that.
Right.
Because a lot of business too is realizing what you're not good at
Mm.
and delegating accordingly. I'm
Time management.
really good at songs, writing them, performing them,
Yeah.
emceeing, being a personality, all of that shit.
Mm.
So much of this business I am not good at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to recognize that, right? So, how do you protect your peace while staying connected?
I kind of participate in the artist's ways method of morning pages. Like I showed you my journal, and it's just like I look like a crazy person with how many like pages and pages I just have in writing. I think putting pen to paper is the most important thing I will talk to you about in this entire podcast
Yeah.
because journaling and putting my thoughts down so that I can see them has changed my life.
You're doing something with Christy in a month or so, right?
So I created this branch of my business that is an interactive songwriting workshop, and it's called Pen to Paper. I have modified it 10 times over as far as, the need for the demographic and the audience. So I've done it for school, I've done it for big corporate, I've done it for dudes in suits, I've
Yeah.
done it for kids. Like I've done it in so many different ways. I've done it one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I've been growing it more, and basically the way that it works is I perform a song, I interact with the audience and get them to like kind of sing with me a little bit. I talk about journaling and why it has allowed me to go from having a victim mentality to like a victor's mindset, and then introduce the songwriting activity, do the songwriting activity itself, like get people to be vulnerable and put pen to
Yeah.
paper and write about their
It's
thoughts and
so important.
feelings and their team or their families or whatever. And then at the end, perform that song that everyone
Nice.
wrote. So yeah, it's super fun. But as far as keeping the peace, I mean, having that relationship with myself and writing down what I think about so I can analyze what I think about.
Yeah. So, have you ever felt jealousy in your circle? And how did you handle it?
I think I feel jealousy often, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if it's jealousy as much as it's envy.
Mm.
Because jealousy is, you have that thing and I wish I had it and you didn't. And envy is, I wish I had the thing you have.
Yeah.
And so I think it's more envy. Like I see people online with huge followings, I feel envious.
Yeah.
Or I see artists playing big shows, I feel envious. Or I see
Or you feel inspired too,
well,
right?
sure, but
Yeah.
it's like, what is your mindset? We
Mhm.
just talking about journaling. Like, what is your mindset that day? Like,
Yeah.
did you wake up and journal about how stressed you are and how
Mhm.
tough everything is, or did you like check yourself to
Yeah.
be in the state of mind to receive?
Yeah. I mean, that's super important. So, let's talk about a little bit of love in the fast lane.
Okay.
So, what's dating like as a boss woman with a mic and a brand?
I mean,
Or being in a relationship with
yeah,
you,
now
right?
that I'm in a relationship and I don't honestly, it's like the best thing ever when you're hit on. You're just like, oh, I'm in a relationship. Bye.
Mhm.
I just, yeah. But before we started dating, I took a whole year off of dating. I
Mm.
was just like off of dating, like it's like a job that you're either.
I mean, it kinda is,
It's
though. It's a chore.
yeah, right. So I didn't date for a while pursuing music, which, saying no was a little bit harder. Dudes don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't like no for no reason. Not all dudes, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Being in a relationship, I mean, while pursuing music and putting myself out there is so wonderful because I feel supported. Like my partner is my biggest fan.
I love that.
Like I feel I'm constantly vouched for. I'm constantly built up. Like he is looking out for me from a
Good.
business perspective that like I just haven't quite built the acumen that he's built in business, Like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
But I mean, like you said, being around that environment, you become adaptive and you pick up strategy and alignment and it translates. All things in business are transferable. You could tailor it to whatever you want. It all applies.
I mean, he's the one. I remember the first time I booked an event that was like 3,000 or something. And he's like, yeah, next time you can book for 10.
Yeah.
And I remember like being like, oh my God, how could I ever? And now I'm like,
Yeah.
give me way more than that.
Yeah. No, seriously, right? And so, do you ever feel like you have to choose between love and ambition?
I don't think my current partner makes me choose. I think that I've had partners who have made me choose.
Yeah. And how do you handle partners who feel intimidated?
You don't date them.
That's right. Either right, whether you're a musician or not. Like if somebody enters into your space and has any type of negativity against what you're doing, remove them.
I've allowed that. I've allowed that. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say the F word on this.
Yeah,
But
go for it. Fuck it.
that. Yeah,
Like seriously,
I've
seriously.
dated the person who is like, why do you want to put yourself out there?
Because I want
Why
to.
do you want to play songs?
Yeah.
And why do you want to do music? Like, what?
Girl, I feel that to my
I'm
core.
busy doing music.
That part.
That is who I am.
Yeah, I also I had somebody in my life that like I strung along or whatever, and the person was like, "Why are you solo in Seattle? Because everything you're doing is with me." No, I'm solo in Seattle because I'm not with you. We are not together. We may be in the same space, but I am one. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, don't get it twisted. It's just kind of like there's no ownership, right? And people try to destroy what you create because they don't have the fundamentals to do it themselves. So it's easier for them to try to put you down or try to create some contrast to make you feel less than.
I've received so much advice, like
Unsolicited advice?
about like what I should do with my music, what I should do with my business from people who are not in it in any form whatsoever. It's crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because it's creative or arts or because I'm a woman or because I'm blonde, but it's crazy how much unsolicited, just like, oh, you know what you should do?
Yeah.
I'm like,
You should fuck off.
yeah, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT before I ask you.
Right. So how do you know when it's time to rest?
I don't. I'm
True
figuring, if I'm being honest, I'm figuring that out. I'm the girl who did the New Day Northwest news appearance with a 104-degree fever because I was like, well, that's when it was booked. So we're getting up at
You
6.
didn't want to cancel because like you committed,
Yeah.
right?
When I do, I actually just for the first time in a really long time took an entire day where I didn't work.
Good.
And it was last Saturday. And I literally, girl, we Uber Eats both meals,
Yeah.
lunch and dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and binged David Blaine and The Magician.
Yeah. Maybe I saw him in
He's
Vegas.
crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy. He's like a stunt person too. It's wild.
Nice.
We did nothing.
I love that.
It's really, really, really incredible. But no, do I have any fucking advice about resting? I have shit to do. I'm in build mode. I will let you know.
Yeah. What's your non-negotiable in your daily routine?
I would say writing down my thoughts. Like checking in. What are you doing? Where's your head at? What are
Yeah.
you grateful for? Who are you? What's up?
Yeah. And what part of your life are you still learning to balance?
I would say when to be focused on business and when to be allotting time for creativity.
I love that. And so you are going to be releasing a new music video soon.
Yeah, I'm releasing a new song.
Share, share, share,
Oh
share,
my
share.
god. So it's called Good Morning.
That's right.
Good morning, baby. Yeah, I wrote this song for a girlfriend and was thinking about it in the studio a couple weeks ago. And I was like, man, it would be really cool to just on this song. And I only had like 2 bars for the
Yep.
entire track. I was like, fuck it, I'll just like see what happens. So I start working on the song with my producer and then I post about it, and then I have, like, these different girlies responding being like, "Wait, this is cute. Like,
Yeah.
I would totally listen to this in the morning." I'm like, "Wait,
Yes.
what?" So then I got, like, input on the song, and then I announced that I wanted to do, like, a collaborative music video. So I had a bunch of different girlies send in video of them in the morning or, like, what their morning routine is or what they see in the morning
Yep.
or, like, mouthing the lyrics to the song or just, like, a bunch of different things and I am stitching them all together to release the song with the
Exciting.
video, which should be super, super fun. I'm so
So,
excited. I love the song. I think it's super
yes.
cute.
Yeah, it is such a cute song. Yeah, I mean, we only got a little snippet of just a little
It's short and
snippet,
sweet.
but it's short and sweet.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about how people can find you. So Instagram, what is your handle?
Yeah, I would say I'm most active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. It's all Kellie Rose Music. KELLIEROSE music. There's an underscore in the TikTok one between Rose and music. Yeah, I really love building community. I call my community my crew. It's KR plus U equals the crew.
That's right.
We believe in kindness, respect, and understanding, first to ourselves and then to everyone else. So, as far as being in the crew goes, it's kind of a personal choice. Either you're upholding the mission of the crew or you're not. So, you can be in and out of it. Like, what's your attitude?
Yeah.
Like, are you being crew right now or are you not?
Okay, energy.
Yeah. The mission is to instill hope, encourage love through acceptance, and improve mental fitness to elevate EQ
Yeah.
with music.
Good. Well, I mean, I really hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me
Oh my
today.
gosh, this was so fun. You're just lovely and wonderful, and I still wanna dig into all your dating stories.
Girl, we are editing that out the podcast.
That is episode 2.
I want you guys to make sure you start streaming Kellie Rose's music and let's support her. Let's get her out there. She is Seattle based. She is hosting a ton of different network events. She's doing Eventbrite stuff. So please make sure you follow her and you support her because in this episode, we're talking about building wealth as a creative. We navigated through friendships while chasing dreams and how she's bringing her community into her next big moment, that Good Morning music video. So there was a casting call. By the time this airs, it's going to be over with. So hopefully we'll see the launch soon. And you might see yours truly in that video. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you so much. And make sure you like, subscribe, and listen. Solo Seattle.